Hi everyone, and welcome to Terms of Blunder. Here is another game where I basically throw it away. It happens in 2 steps. I had quite an advantage and I seamlessly just threw it out the window. Alright, start off with d4. We have d5, c4, e5, c takes d5. Supposedly the better move is to take on take the e5 pawn. I like to take this pawn because it forces black to make a decision here of taking that pawn on d5 or take the d4 pawn. He takes with his queen. I defend my pawn with knight f3. I'm hoping that he pushes here, in which then I can play my b knight to c3 and attack both his queen and his pawn. And the game continues with e takes d4, knight c4, bishop b4, pinning my knight against my king, and I can't move it, so I attack. I move my queen to a4 with a check, with the idea that if he defends with the knight, I'll simply momentarily sack my queen, in which point he'll take, and I'll take his queen with my knight, and then he'll be forced to take there. Well, anyhow, that's the idea. So plays out, he plays knight c6. I take on b4 with my queen. Takes back with his knight. The better move here is to actually take with d's. D takes on c3, and I don't exactly know why that's a good move, but I guess it's better position for black. Anyhow, back to this position, he takes there. I take his queen with knight takes d5. He takes it, knight takes d5, and I grab that pawn with knight takes d4. He plays bishop d7 with the idea of, I guess him castling. So now what I was thinking is block this check, force him to either block with the knight or with the pawn, and then that'll allow me to rotate my bishop to this spot, to g3, and put pressure on this pawn right here on c7 if he plans on castling queenside. So I guess I missed a win here, which is knight take, if I had pushed my e4 pawn, and if we do that, if we go back and see that move, oops, jeez, and then he's going to go b4, a3. I guess I would play with the idea of pushing him out, because I don't want him lingering here and then have him push this pawn and then potentially fork. So anyhow, back to my move. Bishop g5. He blocks with f6. I go back with bishop h4. He castles just like I thought he would, queenside. I push my e3 pawn, hoping to castle soon. I don't want my king in the center too long. He brings his g to e7 knight. Then I play bishop e2, freeing up my king so he can castle. Apparently the best move is bishop g3. with, not sure why, but once again I'm a blunder master, another grandmaster. He plays he plays knight c6, attacking here. I didn't want to take his his knight on c6, because then I would allow him to develop his bishop and free up this row for his rooks. So I decided to play rook d1. Apparently that's an inaccuracy. Taking here is better. He takes on d4. I take back on d4 with my rook, and he plays his bishop to c6. I castle. He plays his king to b8. And now what I want to do is get my rook over here, push this, and then eventually take this. So that's my idea. I line up my rooks with rook f to d1. He moves out of the way, and here I think it's pretty clear trade. I want to make two pieces for a rook, and with both my bishops I should have a pretty good control over this board. So I grab the knight with rook takes d5, and then we have bishop takes d5, rook takes d5, and then he brings his rook to d8, hoping to trade, but I do not want to trade here. My idea is to align my bishops here and put pressure on the king, because he's not really very safe there. So I play rook b5 with the idea of going after this pawn. He plays rook d2, planning on bringing his other rook into play, and what I want to do is get close to here so that I can defend this bishop and eventually prevent him from coming down here if he lines up. He plays rook h to d8, and I play bishop g3, which is a big mistake. Better move would have been bishop to f3. And now it's telling me the better move would have been f4. Anyhow, back to the position. I played bishop g3 with the idea of preventing this pawn from moving forward. He plays rook c2. What he wants to do is line up, get both his rooks on c2, which is fine. Line up his rooks on the second file and then cause some damage. But with my bishops down here, I should be fine. So once again, I make a mistake here. I play bishop f3. I should have played f4 and allow me an escape route if he decides that he wants to do something in the back rank. He plays bishop d to d2. Now he's on the second row and he's in a pretty good position. I take here, knowing that if he goes there I can get a discovered check, and if he goes there, I thought if he goes here I could take here, but what I completely missed, but he can just take there, so I kind of messed up there. So then I took, so here's the big blunder. I already showed you the move, but this is where I threw the game away with bishop takes on a7, and I should have moved my rook and my king over more, because what I missed was that I was thinking this is protected so he can't take it, but I missed this. And there's really not much I can do there. Mate. Alright guys, that's another video from terms of blunder, hope you enjoyed my game. Until next time, have a good day.